Hey, this is Preston Cooper, and you're listening to Music Row.
Welcome to Music Row, a backstage pass to your favorite country artists. Here's your host, Leake.
Hey, welcome back to the program. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the listens. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't already done so, hit subscribe. You get new episodes as soon as they are completed right into your player platform that you choose. Whether you're on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, it's everywhere. Do that and drop us a comment. Who do you think we should have next on the Music Row podcast? Hey, everybody. Good one today. You're going to meet a guy out of Ohio who you may already know of, Preston Cooper. So Preston grew up in small town Ohio. He's already got songs that are busting through on all the digital service providers. We're talking week numbers on a mailbox. One more place I've never been. He got signed so fast to Big Machine, it'll make you shake your head. I mean, it's almost like winning a lottery. It happened so fast for Preston Cooper. He'll tell the story, how it all came about, and we'll get into know the guy who was at one point, and may still be known as, the singing mailman. First, let's do a little bit of news. Kenny Chesney, who just got inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, he, along with June Carter Cash and producer Tony Brown, he says on the evening, a moment that will live in his soul forever. Thomas Rhett has teamed up with Niall Horan for a surprise remix of Old Tricks. Like, this is a track that came out years ago with Thomas Rhett. You can find that on all the digital service providers. And Ella Langley has dropped Choosing Texas, co-written by Miranda Lambert. It's got the heartbreak, it's got grit, it's got Lone Star Pride. I wouldn't be surprised it makes it to top 5 in like 0 time on every chart that's out there. Not sure if it'll go number 1, because I don't think there's too many people in Maryland who really care about Texas. And I think just name, you know, the Maryland people, right? Coming up on the Music Row podcast, Preston Cooper.
Wherever there's a heartbeat and a stage, there's an artist set to perform. This is Music Row on Tour.
On Tour brought to you by the Pecan Agency, connecting bands with fans worldwide. You can catch Lainey Wilson December 7th in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then it looks like there's going to be a hometown gig in Nashville, Tennessee at the Grand Ole Opry on December 10th. Lady A is going to be in Atlanta on December 5th. On the 6th, find them in Clearwater, Florida. And John Party lands in St. Augustine, Florida on December 12th, Davie, Florida on the 18th, and Nashville, Tennessee on the 21st.
Hi, my name is Kim Stockwood. I am a proud Newfoundlander and a Canadian singer-songwriter. In a landscape where many lack access to health benefits or employee assistance programs, the Unison Fund serves as a lifeline of hope for musicians and music industry professionals facing medical emergencies or mental health challenges. To learn more about Unison and their programs, please visit unisonfund.ca.
Hey, this is Preston Cooper, and you're listening to Music Row with Leake.
Preston, you grew up in a small town in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called? Frankenstein's? Frederickston's?
Frankenstein's town.
Yeah. Fredericktown.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there was about 300 people in your high school.
Yeah, well, more than that, but I think our graduating class was like 60. Maybe.
All right.
I don't know.
We might be right. We might be getting close to my number.
Close to that number.
So when you end up getting that gig delivering the mail, you know everyone's home address to where if anything is coming to town via mail, they just have to put the person's first name, and you don't even need to know the zip, the address. You can go right to their house and
I
drop
just
it
knew
off.
their name. I knew their name. I didn't need like, a lot of times like mail gets sent back because they don't have the right number. I didn't need that. I just needed their name.
And I read that you weren't so sure about taking on this venture of music.
It's kind of scary to quit your full-time great job with federal benefits and just try to do it. So that's
so what was the jumping off point? Like, did somebody say, if you don't do this, like,
I just
family
felt this like really strong feeling to just do it, because if I wasn't going to commit myself fully to it, it wasn't going to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have to be invested 100% of your effort and time and work ethic. And I was like, I got to do it full time, and I need to move to Nashville.
So you graduate from that town school. You're done with going to the Top Country Diner and the Harvest Diner and whatever, all of them that you have, your locals.
Yeah.
I mean, you land that full-time gig, which I'm guessing is not the easiest thing to even get into, a full-time gig right out of high school.
Yeah.
So you're already ahead of the curve compared to everybody else in your age demographic.
For sure.
Were you writing songs during high school that kind of led you down a path to, I got to find my way to Nashville?
I wouldn't say writing full songs. It was more, I was so creative. I loved to write melodies, and I had these great melody ideas and stuff. I think I really started writing like big time when I moved to Nashville. But I think it was more of just like, I watched videos of Nashville and just bars and people playing, and I just wanted to be there in the scene, you know, in the moment with everybody else. I just felt left out. And I don't know, it just drew me to move, I guess.
So did you kind of put like one toe in the water, or did you go like,
I was full out in there, dude.
So you didn't spend a weekend? Because what was it like an 8
hour
hour drive away from you?
It is. It was about a 7 hour drive. I quit my job at the post office, and then I was playing bar gigs at the time, just like all the time in my hometown area. I was making decent money doing it, like 3-4 hour gigs every night. It was like crazy. And I did that for a while, and then like 3 months after I quit the post office, that's when I met the Warren brothers in Toledo at a Holiday Inn in a ballroom. It was a corporate gig, and I was playing 45 minutes. And then
45 minutes of covers or
covers,
your own stuff?
Mainly covers. I think I might have done one original. Thought it was just another gig, right?
Sure.
And they seen me, and they're like, dude, you need to like get to Nashville like now. And I never thought about moving at that time. I was just...
You hadn't met them before.
No, I haven't met them. I didn't even know who they... Yeah, they could have been serial killers. I didn't even know who they were. I didn't know what they had written. It was funny because I met them, and I was like, they were like telling me everything they'd done. I was like, no offense, but I have no clue who you guys are. And they're like, oh, it's okay. Like, you're not supposed to know us. We just write for the people that you do know, like Tim McGraw and, you know, Toby Keith. But that was really funny. And I made a trip down. I made like 3 trips down. And then after that, I moved full time. Right. And I got a call for like a rental place. And he's like, hey, you're next in line. The first person didn't work out. Do you want it? I was like, yeah. It was a Sunday afternoon. I packed my bag. I drove down the next morning.
And you were there.
And I was there. I was like, I got to go. I got to take this opportunity.
So as soon as you land, you've got your spot, the rental place, you know the areas a little bit. I mean, we also have the internet so you could figure out stuff. Do you go right back to Warren Brothers and you say, hey, I'm here now, let's get to work? And they're like, oh, we're busy. Yeah,
it kind of was like that because they play gigs and stuff, corporate gigs that, you know, the songs that they've written, and they're always busy doing other things. And I moved, and it was like, there was a good 4 months there where I just wasn't doing anything. Like I was doing stuff on my own. Like I was playing every open mic I could find in town, trying to get gigs. It's hard to get gigs in Nashville if they don't know who you are or you're connected to anybody. And I had no music out.
And everyone's the hottest shit ever.
Yeah.
Like
everybody thinks they're. And
they're great.
I was just texting him every now and then. I didn't want to bother him, you know, a lot because I know they're busy. And we would write, you know, like maybe once every 3 weeks. It was kind of like that thing. Right. And then it started to trickle in, and we went to the studio, and then we all got really excited about things that we recorded. And that's kind of how they're like, all right, this is legit. Let's do this.
So did you have like a game plan overall? Like if you were going to go to Nashville, you were going to give it 6 months, or you were going to give it a year, or it was all or nothing? You were never going back to Ohio regardless.
I think I was just going to do it. I didn't really have a plan, to be honest. I just went and hoped for the best. Just prayed that it would work out, and it was fun. This is a really crazy story. I actually prayed that I was like, Lord, just let me be busy. Just give me work. I want to be 100%. Be careful what you wish for or pray for, because now I am on the road constantly. And
did you even have a passport before you?
Oh, I just got my passport like 2 weeks ago.
Right, because it's not a common thing. Like,
no, I wasn't planning on leaving the U.S.
Right, there's lots to see. There's nothing wrong with the U.S. There's lots to see.
There's lots to do.
But as a touring artist, you got to get paperwork right away.
Right,
and now you get to explain it. By the way, I at one point was a mailman. Let's be honest. I'm a country artist now. So
Yeah.
give me the VIP treatment. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, no, not at all.
Does it remind you though, when you think about like when it's hard and you're on the road and you're touring and that, do you think back about, okay, being in that small town and going, if I wasn't hustling and struggling right now, working hard, might be miserable back in Ohio?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I like the post office, but like, man, it was the same route every day. And I was just like, this is getting boring. And I was like,
how far did you walk?
12 to 14 miles every day.
Holy smokes. Do they give you free shoes for that?
Yeah.
They gotta give you some.
There's like an allowance in this whole company that the U.S. Post Office uses, gear, clothes.
But you were the singing mailman too. I have a mailman who is just constantly on the phone. So he's talking through his Bluetooth speakers.
That's pretty normal.
I just assume that he's doing like some sort of telephone solicitation and he's just calling people because there's no way anyone can talk to this guy.
That's a side hustle.
Yeah, he's got a side because why would anybody talk to this guy that much? But regardless, what were you singing when you're going door to door?
A lot.
Did you notice you were doing it too? Like
a lot of times, no, I wouldn't. It was just, I used to hum a lot when I was little, just and I didn't know I did it. I think it was more of a tick than anything, to be honest. And but yeah, it was mainly covers. I would write a few things, actually, like the radio single Week. I wrote the chorus melody on my route one day, and I recorded it. I was like, I can't forget this.
You recorded into your phone right away as you're doing your route.
Yeah, I did that a lot, actually. I have a lot of melodies that I recorded of songs.
So would you say, now that you have all this Nashville experience, do you have a preferential on how you're going to write a song? Is it you need to go for a walk and hum into the phone, or do you need to be with three people?
Not really. It's more of, I don't know, we just sit down, and I co-write a lot mostly. And we just sit down and hang for a while, about an hour. We don't write, we just hang, and then we start getting creative. And sometimes it just happens, like out of nowhere. We'll just say something and be like, that's it. We sit down and write it.
Have people been like asking you questions where it's like, hey, is this supposed to be some sort of weird therapy for me because I didn't sign up for this? When you try to dig into let's hear the real heartache. And it's like, I got hit by a snowball. I don't know.
Hit by a snow. That's right. A lot of it's fiction, and people take it literally, which is okay. I mean, they should. But yeah, I think you're exactly right on that though. People sometimes overthink things.
Right. And make you dig down into your soul. Cause I know some individuals who come out of that writing session and they don't feel good about themselves for they got to go run a few miles just to clear their own heads because they've opened up and they've put their entire livelihood out on the floor. Yeah.
And some songs are that way, very meaningful to me and other people. But, I think some songs are surface level, but like, a couple I'll play tonight actually, here in Toronto is not surface level. They're pretty deep.
And it's a more of a roots, maybe more of a 90s type country. It's not your pop country kind of sounds. What were you listening to?
Man, I was listening to like 70s, 80s rock and roll, like Journey, Bob Seger, CCR, Aerosmith. As far as blues goes, I was listening to like B.B. King, Buddy Guy, Stevie Ray Vaughan, John Mayer.
Who turned you on to all that?
Actually, so my stepdad, Don, he always listened to blues in the garage, and I would always hang in the garage with him.
What was he doing? Just tinkering on the car? Or?
Yeah, just working on stuff all the time, just doing whatever. And that would always be playing in the background. Well, I started to really like it. And then I would listen to it on my own time because I heard a song like, ooh, what's this? And then I would go and listen to it. And that opened me up to a whole new genre.
Yeah, music is that way. It's kind of like someone smoking a joint in a small office space. You kind of absorb it.
Yeah, like
right?
Joe Bonamassa. All those guys are just so great.
What are you seeing? What is Nashville teaching you now?
Well, I'll tell you this, and I'm not saying this to like be like bragging at all, but when I moved to Nashville, they said, this is a 10-year town. You're going to have to work for it, which I did work for it really hard, but I thought I was going to have to work in Nashville a lot. And I am working. This is my work. It's a lot of travel. But 6 months after I moved is when everything went down.
The label comes knocking at the door. Publishing starts knocking at the door.
Yeah, publishing was first, and then I played the Bluebird, and it just...
Did you know that publishing was even a thing when you went to Nashville?
No, I didn't even know about songwriters. I thought the artist wrote the song.
Right.
I mean, most of the time they do, but a lot of like, for example, Tim McGraw, he didn't write his stuff. The Warren Brothers do.
Yeah.
That's how I learned about that.
So when someone says, hey, we're going to sign you to a publishing deal, and that what kind of work or research are you doing to say, yes, I'm going to sign with these people at that time compared to the other publishers that are out there that might want a piece of what you're putting
Yeah,
into?
I had great mentors and I trusted them, still do. And they kind of walked me through it. But honestly, like my musical heroes were signed with them. So it was just like,
I've heard a lot of that.
that's so cool. You know what I mean? Like Chris Stapleton, that's his publisher. And I was like, I love Chris Stapleton. I thought that was like the big thing. So I was like, all right, I'll go with Warner, and I've heard of them before, but I only heard of the label side. I didn't know that they even had publishing.
So then Big Machine is available. How did that come about?
Yeah, there was like a big fight there for a minute.
So Scott pulled up in the SUV.
Not SUV, more like a Ferrari, but yeah, so I met with Allison Jones, head of A&R at Big Machine, and such a wonderful human being. But I met with her and we had like a 2.5 hour meeting and we just talked and I sang songs and we told stories and she's like,
is anybody with you or are you solo?
No, the Warrens were with me.
Okay, so
they came in with me. Yeah,
had some support system.
Yeah, they came in and just kind of told the story of how we met in the Toledo and all that. And I was telling my story about the post office, and I told her, I was like, "Yeah, I walk 14 miles a day." She's like, "Hold on a minute, just stop right there." She's like, "You walk 14 miles a day carrying mail?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I think I'm more impressed by that." She's like, "I can't even get my son to walk to the mailbox to get the mail."
Yeah, exactly.
And so it was such a funny story, but I sang, and then that was like it for her. She's like, this is awesome. And so she called Scott like the next day. She's like, "Hey, you need to hear this kid." So she sent him some demos that we had made, and he's like, "Let's have him come in like in a couple days." So at that point, I researched Scott, and I was like, this guy made Taylor Swift, like so cool, to even be in a room with him.
Sure.
But I think for me, like going into that meeting, I was raised like really down to earth on a farm. No matter who the person is, you treat them the same, just like you treat your sister, whatever, So yeah, we went to Big Machine and I sat down in front of Scott in the big office with the big long table, and I had my acoustic guitar. I played 3 songs, and
were they new songs or were they songs that you had in
they're all new
back pocket?
They're all new. I just wrote these like the last 9 months when I made my first trip to Nashville. And I was so
they barely have any road testing.
No, none at all. None at all. Like just a few like songwriter gigs here and there, but it was with the Warren Brothers. Like they had a gig and they invited me to come sing like 2 songs.
Right.
That's the only like thing I ever had with those songs. So I played 3 songs and he goes, "All right, that's enough." And it just made my heart stop. I was nervous. I thought he was going to like turn me away. He's like, "When do you want to start?" He said that to me and I was like, holy crap, dude. I played this like rock and roll vibe, kind of like Chris Cornell, One More Place I've Never Been. And I was just like, wow, with an acoustic guitar right there. And it was over. He was just like, let's rock and roll.
So you end up going through all the paperwork and all that stuff. Did you phone home right away and say, by the way, whoever had the bets on me not making it, it's time to pay up.
Right. Yeah.
Those who thought I was going to make it, we're winning. We're all in.
Yeah. It was really cool. It was funny when we walked out of the building, like all these things just kept happening.
Do you think that's just because you're a guy that goes out, sees an opportunity and just takes it?
I think it's that. And I also think it's just, and I don't mean this in any like weird way or anything, but it just feels like it's supposed to happen. I don't know. It just feels like it's meant to be. And like I just walked out of the building and Brett goes, one of the Warrens, he goes, Preston. Do you realize what just happened? I was like, not really. He's like,
because I'm sure they've taken a few people into offices before.
Yeah. Ernest, Keith Urban, actually Keith, well, they like wrote with him a lot in the early days, but like Mitchell Tenpenny, all these big artists.
And here we are today.
Yeah.
You with your shiny passport that came via the mail.
Yeah.
Preston, congrats, man. Thanks.
Thank
for
you so
doing this.
much.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate the time.
This was a great interview, by the way. Thank you. I love
It
this.
was store-bought.
Oh, thanks. Store bought.
Follow Music Row on X at Music Row Country, on Instagram at Music Row Official. Music Row is produced by Shed of Dreams.